Right, because this has, of course, been in the headlines for weeks now, right? There's all this talk of you fighting David Benavidez, of course, one of the biggest stars in boxing. And Don King, I think, was saying that, he was talking with Samson LEWKOWICZ when the PBC side, right, on that fight. But did the offer ever make it to you? Because he kept saying he agreed. He agreed to a deal. Did you agree to a deal with Benavidez?
I have never seen a bona fide offer from their side. And with Don King, he's an old school promoter. He is like receiving a contract, and then they go into a dark room. They decide what they pocket in their pockets, and they come out and tell the fighter, you know what, you just get this lump sum of this fight, but you never know what is what is on the stake on the table. So that's actually against the Muhammad Ali Revival Act, transparency, right? So with the Benavidez fight, I agreed to it immediately, and it passed like more than 60 days. I never received an agreement. Meanwhile, they were talking to TKO also since February already, but they were withholding from me the conversations. And then we decided with my manager, you know what, we have to see what's going on there to make a fight happen, because otherwise, if you leave it to their hands, I have to make a living, I have to fight, I have to make a career. I can't wait till forever.
Wait, what? Bro, did y'all just hear what Noel Mikaelian just said? I've already had it up to here. I'm already sickened with how this whole situation has been going down with David Benavidez, Noel Mikaelian, and Jai Opetaia. I'm already sick of it. And now to hear this come straight out of Noel Mikaelian's mouth in an interview with Mike Coppinger on Inside the Ring on Ring Magazine. Make sure you guys follow. Subscribe to them on all social media platforms. All video credit goes to them. Noel Mikaelian said that Don King was in talks with TKO and Zuffa Boxing for what? Most likely to set up that fight with Jai Opetaia. They was in talks since February. But Don King was withholding that information, those negotiations, the talks, was withholding that information away from Noel, bro. You're telling me that the whole petition, David Benavidez and Jose Benavidez Sr. sending a petition to the WBC to allow them to move up a weight class, cut the corners, cut the line, and automatically get ordered and mandated to face the WBC Cruiserweight Champion Noel Mikaelian? You're telling me that all that could have been avoided here? Don King was withholding information from Noel? Bruh, this is some of the most nasty, dirty, diabolical work. And I'm not surprised. It's Don King, ladies and gentlemen. What is this man even doing in the sport of boxing still? My goodness. Noel Mikaelian goes on and speaks about the David Benavidez situation. He says, yeah, I agreed to the fight, but I never got a bona fide contract. I agreed to the fight and they never came back to me with an official contract. All they asked me was if I was down to face David Benavidez. And I told them, yeah, I never got a date. I never got a venue, none of that. And they never even came back to me to officially sign an actual contract. And those dudes got the audacity, following the Noel Mikaelian and Jai Opetaia news that Noel has decided to go the Jai route. They got the audacity to go on social media and try to blast Noel Mikaelian. SAMPSON, LEWKOWICZ, and Don King are horrible for the sport, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely horrible guys that do not deserve what they've got, bro. SAMPSON is horrible for the boxing fans. For his fighters, he tries to keep them safe as possible. But for the fans, horrible, bro. And Don King, don't even get me started. To withhold information away from Noel Mikaelian that the man has an opportunity, the biggest opportunity to go on into Zuffa boxing, to sign with Zuffa. You withholding information like that from Noel, which you see how everything ended up playing out? When, if he would have told him that information, Noel Mikaelian, instead of being ordered by the WBC, could have straight up went into a Jaya Pataya fight or possibly have that set signed and sealed. Not allowing the WBC to pass the petition that David Benavidez and Jose Benavidez Sr. sent. Bruh, you may ask yourself, how does Noel Mikaelian even get a promoter like Don King? That's his fault. That's his fault for signing with them. Well, guess what? He was forced into signing with Don King, ladies and gentlemen. The dude didn't want to actually sign with this fool, but he was forced. I got the clip for you guys, breaking down exactly how he and why he signed with Don King. I want y'all to see that first, and then we'll continue. Check this out.
Fought for the international belt with the WBC, fought for the silver belt with the WBC, and then the silver belt is the one below the world title, so they were supposed to rank me mandatory for the world title, so I can fight for the world title again. But they wouldn't, and somebody told me then this is how it works. Don King as the champion, if you want to fight for the championship as a mandatory, the champion won't fight you because you're too strong as a voluntary. You're too high risk, low reward. So you have to do it with the mandatory position, and to do it with the mandatory position, you have to sign with Don King. So we met, and then he put the contract in front of me. You're signing this right now. I'm like, no, I'm not. I was there with my brother, and he was like checking all the legal stuff. I'm like, how do I get this title fight? You will get the title shot only if you sign with me. I'm like, okay, make sure that in this contract is written I get the title shot within the next 6 months or a year, at least in the time frame. And then he said, you signed this, you're fighting for the world title against my champion. That's how it happened. I only signed for that reason, to get the world title shot. So then I signed the agreement, and the fight was scheduled. I signed in September 2022, went to the convention. Fight against Ilunga Makabu was scheduled already January or February 2023.
Look at that, like magic.
Immediately. Here in Miami. So I started the training camp with my coach Pedro. And then 3 or 4 weeks prior, he called me and said, no, the fight's not going to happen. So we broke the training camp again. I'm like spending money again for training and no fighting.
Bruh, he was forced into signing that contract if the man wanted to get a title shot. And then he ended up going on in that interview with Mike Coppinger and explained how that title shot ended up coming not on the expected date, but way after. Ladies and gentlemen, he explains everything that Don King has did to him. And I'm telling y'all right now, bro, it's some of the most dirtiest, nasty work that I see going down within this little clique right here, bro. Within this little group. David Benavidez' manager. Hey, this guy, SAMPSON LEWKOWICZ. I feel like I just want to slap him, bro. Bah! Give him a little, bah! For absolutely being diabolical in the sport, bro. I want y'all to let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this. Noel Mikaelian has come out and explained his situation. He said, hey, I agreed to fight David Benavidez, but they never hit me with an actual contract. I didn't sign nothing. They had the audacity to come out and act like, oh, he agreed, he did this, that. But they kept the man on silent. Then all of a sudden, when they see the breaking news that Noel Mikaelian has decided to go with Jaya Pataya, you guys have the audacity to pull that? Get the hell out of here, bro. Y'all keeping information away from your fighter, Don King? This fool should be put into prison, bro. For real, this guy should be locked up for life. I ain't even playing around. The receipts on this man. The amount of money that this man has stolen. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm furious right now with this breaking news. It's an absolute shocker, but at the same time, not a shocker, being with who's involved. My goodness, bro. I'm out.